I used TikTok for about 2.5 months. I used TikTok for 2.5 months so you don't have to. Basically, when you're using TikTok, it eventually comes down to you scrolling through content, hoping to find something that you eventually find worthy of giving a heart or worthy of watching all the way through. You're just waiting for the next dopamine hit, saying, hey, 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 okay, let me scroll through this. Let me scroll through this. This looks interesting. And how long do I watch it? That's pretty much what it comes down to. There's really not a strong sense of search. It's more of about that for you type of page. And if you see something you like, going to that page and seeing what other kind of content they have on that page, that person's page. And if you want to subscribe to make sure you can have it in the feed, be it the for you feed or the following feed, so you can keep up. And there is some organization on the pages where people can group videos into playlists, but it's still kind of janky, if you will. And when you're hoarding videos that you want to save, there's really no way to organize it. Search is very limited. Hashtags has some kind of leeway involved with it, because you'll I guess you'll essentially get what could be current or what could be popular, but it's really not something worth browsing through, watching a bunch of people do the same trend or respond to the same thing. That's kind of boring to me. But anyways, with the For You page, you can see a variety of things. You do see quite a bit of copyrighted content, if you will. And a lot of that is people sharing nostalgia. Or making a commentary, and you run across your conspiracy theory videos and political videos. I haven't seen much of the supposed dancing videos. You do see people putting up videos to essentially get you to go to their page and sign up or look at their Twitter or Instagram, things of that nature, push it to another social or have a link tree, push it to their websites or beacons or whatever it is. You see a lot of people's trauma, pain. You see people that have handicaps and disabilities, mental and physical, and other mental issues and mental health issues. You see a lot of that, whether it be someone with cerebral palsies or autism, depression, addiction. You'll see a lot of that, more than you expect. I don't know how this algorithm works, but you see more of that than you expect. Physical disabilities, even when something's somewhat rare, as someone having a partial amputation and having their leg connected, foot connected backwards, so it goes into the stomach. I've seen a couple of women like that. You've seen several people in wheelchairs saying, hey, this is how I'm living, this is what happened, etc. So we can go through a story time in several parts. You'll see quite a few homeless people. So it's more of a random who was most interesting, who's standing out in that, who can attract people from an emotional standpoint or a standpoint of a spectacle. And that's pretty much what stands out. I don't know the long-term value of much on the TikTok platform as it stands. No one's really making dedicated channels, and the ones that are dedicated, it could seem kind of corporate or could get kind of boring. It seems like TikTok is hey, this is the kind of place let me make this video and see how they can grab some attention or grab some interaction. Now these videos on TikTok do get quite a bit of comments when you get a decent amount of views, and I guess it could be easy to go quote unquote viral, if you will, but the payout is kind of low for that when I researched it. I haven't posted any content. I don't plan to post any content as it stands. I was just exploring to see what's out there on that platform and how people are doing things, be it with stitches or duets and what's trending over there. The most interesting thing I saw was that Detroit security guard, or was it Detroit self-defense guy when he's disarming people, that blew up. I saw it, I guess essentially real time sometime in November, like, oh, this video looks interesting.
Jordan was on running. Got him.
And I saw more of it like that, and then it obviously spread around the internet, news, television, touchdown celebrations in the NFL. So yeah, that was the biggest thing I've seen in 2.5 months. And that was original. Another original thing I saw was these prank calls from this lady named Nay Hayes, I guess a former college softball athlete. Those prank calls were interesting and funny. I really enjoyed that. That was original content. And I saw that probably within the first week or so. I got on the platform, and obviously she made other videos, and I found that to be interesting. I'll link that profile, put it in this video. Because that was original content, and it was interesting and entertaining. But yeah, TikTok is heavy about that home feed. It's really, I would really not. It's really not heavy on search and going through older videos and having that kind of archive. Is really not set up to be like that for some reason, or to easily be like that. Now you can put text into the, I guess, thumbnail, if you will, have it show up when people scroll through a page, and I can give people a sense of organization along with the playlist as well, and that kind of helps. They still have some work to do in terms of that, but I don't know how dedicated people will be to niching down, if you will. It's more of just an expression. And I even ran across a TikTok, someone complaining about, hey, this platform is changing. Is all kinds of things, and it's not necessarily people dancing or people throwing cheese at people or things, or watching cheese fall from the ceiling. Some people don't find it as fun of an app.
I don't know what needs to hear this, but I came to TikTok for like the memes. And 2 years ago, when this whole pandemic shit started, like I would come on my For You page and I would see a video of like a piece of cheese being thrown at the wall. And these days, it's just feeling a little bit too LinkedIn, a little bit too tips and tricks. Like, I respectfully don't want to come on here and get advice about a mortgage or like how to write my resume. Like that, it's just not the vibe. You know what I mean? It's not what I came here for. And I would just like all of us to agree that, you know, we need to step it up a little bit more cheese thrown at the wall, and a little bit less charts and statistics.
I just find it as a random app where it's like, hey, yeah, you might see a spectacle in terms of something fun. The next one, you'll see someone having a breakdown, or someone faking a breakdown as an acting kind of way to rack up some views. And like I said, it's a lot of different things, that you might not necessarily see, and that's cool. But I don't see it as a video platform in the way YouTube is, and it's not supposed to be that way. But it's just a way to get your word out and maybe go viral, but with a interesting, not necessarily chronological feed that has a recency bias to a degree, to like maybe within, like if a video is posted within a month, you have a chance of seeing it on the For You page. I'm not sure about anything longer than that. It's not going to be as quick as Twitter, but it doesn't recommend or show you things years back like a YouTube would. So yeah, it's just people getting on there making videos saying, hey, look at this, or even look at this event, or look at this tragedy, or look what I went through, or look at this crazy thing that happened. And in terms of that, I feel like you could just have some dedicated watch people or news agencies to do that, and I'll just catch that crazy stuff when it hits a news platform where I can just scroll through it and say, okay, that looks interesting. I don't know if I need to be the first in the know for a lot of stuff that happens. I'm not sure how many people I find follow worthy as I would with YouTube. It makes YouTube is organized better, and it's a mature platform, and people know how to stick to themes a little bit better. And plus there's search as well that's robust. But then again, that's because it's Google. TikTok, I feel that it does have potential for people. And if you niche it down and theme it up, you probably would have an advantage over the randomness that exists right now. But I don't know how much people want to become a niche down kind of thing for people instead of random expression, because that'll make it kind of like YouTube, if you will. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I feel about TikTok. I use it so you don't have to use it, or I use it so you can check it out. It's definitely interesting way to look at the, I don't know, the internet or social media, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know if you want to really call it social media. It's more like a Twitter, like, hey, this is my thought in video form to get out there. Let me see if it goes viral for whatever reason, or things of that nature. I do find it informative to some degree, especially when I see nostalgia plays, saying, hey, look at this clip, or look at this commercial, or look at this video game, or what have you. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, but I don't necessarily feel the need to participate in it right now. I really don't feel the need to keep scrolling through it, because at a certain point, like, wait a minute, I'm scrolling. I'm starting to figure out, okay, what I like, or if I see this video going somewhere, or I skip ahead and wait until I get to something I like or I find interesting and say, okay, that's interesting. That's a throwback. Oh, look at this little interesting thing that happened. And then of course, you'll see your fake pranks out there, or people trying to fake going up to people and talking to them in stores, all kinds of stuff. It's out there. Some educational things as well, put you onto some knowledge. But it's kind of all over the place right now, and I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure it could change. I'm sure the platform can mature over time, but when you have other platforms, be it YouTube, the Meta, in terms of their platforms, whether it be Instagram or I guess Facebook, maybe Facebook will add something like a Reels kind of thing that Instagram has, and that could chop into this. TikTok, I guess, has an algorithm, but I'm not sure how proprietary it is right now in terms of in terms of not necessarily proprietary, but in terms that it can't be figured out or replicated or approximated to some degree. I know YouTube probably could do it once they figure out how they want to do their shorts. They could probably approximate it to some degree, but I'm not sure how far they want to fully invest in it when what they have thus far has been working. So, yeah, TikTok is it's an interesting place, interesting thing to browse, but I do feel like it's a time waste at a certain point. Like, okay, I seen something like that. Okay, let me get to this video. And other times I want to see people do the same thing, do the similar dances, the same kind of music. When you do see it, if you want to see dances, you're probably better off dealing with the Instagram reels and things of that nature. And anything that blows up on TikTok is probably going to blow up on other platforms, and people going to take the highlights of TikTok. So TikTok is pretty much, hey, if you want to be first to see it, or if you want to pick up something maybe nostalgic and have it put in your face when someone reposts, because the shelf life is pretty short. So, yeah, I just wanted to see what was going on over there. And I guess that could benefit some people just to look at it if they want to do certain things in terms of videos or reaction. If they got reaction videos, how they want to do it with a Stitcher duet kind of thing, incorporate that into their YouTube thing. I mean, I guess it's good to see certain types of production in that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know about TikTok. It had potential if someone wants to hurry up and get a lot of attention. I don't know how people transfer from TikTok to other platforms. Guess maybe it depends on the content. Or platforms with better monetization, but is at least from what I heard and what I've seen, million views is probably about $20, and you can possibly make thousands on YouTube for that same amount. I really don't know, especially if you want to be a TikTok creator. I mean, not that you can't make millions, but you really have to get a lot of views. You want to bring in hundreds of millions of views, where you're making several thousand per video to really add it up over the course of a year. Yes, and we've seen people that they make these dance videos, especially when TikTok was starting to gain momentum a few years back in the United States, with a lot of, I don't know, several groups of people, different kinds of people, whoever. And people were enamored by it and say, oh, look at these persons dance to this music, and maybe have this little funny prank or do something crazy. But I'm not sure how long that's going to last. I mean, how these platforms change, more things become popular. And I'm kind of rambling on right now because it's interesting to look at this platform and TikTok and how it operates, but it's not as intentional of a platform as, say, YouTube, where it can be. Even though you say, hey, look at this browse, but at least you get a title and thumbnail, and then you can search well and robustly. It's worth looking at, but I don't see much long-term value in it unless you got some crazy ideas that you can have several parts to it, or you got to stand where you can really get those views in it, especially if you want to be a creator. Get these views, rack them up, get your money, get out. Or if you're doing it like that, how many people can you transfer to, say, YouTube or even Instagram kind of real thing and get more money that way? But yeah, That's how I feel about it. It looks cool. I mean, they probably want to cut down on the copyright kind of content, even though that kind of isn't necessarily monetized. But I don't know. It's a different kind of place. It's like, whoa, wow. Look at this person with this issue too, or with this going on. I don't know. It's a lot of different kinds of content out there, and maybe I know it can vary to a certain degree between people and what they like. I don't know how TikTok goes through your phone. I don't use it on my main phone. I use it on my Android where I have limited stuff on there. Even though I use this Android to essentially record and edit my YouTube videos. I don't know how much information I can glean from this, especially certain personal things, but who knows? Maybe they scan some emails for all I know. I don't know. But that's still limited in terms of that as well. I don't know. It's not as many apps on this Android as it is on my iPhone. Even though the more apps on my iPhone, it's probably some food related apps. I really don't think I have any. I don't really have any games on it right now with some food related apps and maybe more apps, but I don't know. And I'm rambling right now. I'm sorry, it's a long video. I don't know how many people sticking with this to the end, but yeah, I use TikTok so you don't have to. You can see what's out there, but it's you'll do some endless scrolling, and I feel like you can end up wasting time waiting for the next big dopamine hit, saying, "Oh my goodness, this is an awesome video." So yeah, that's how I see it. Iceberg Jim out. Deuces.